Okay, hi, good morning, class. So actually, this morning we will be uh, discussing about the evaluating Boolean expressions to make decisions in C sharps. So of course, uh, when adding decisions, specifically logic decisions to our applications, we will need actually to evaluate many different kinds of conditions. And to express those conditions adequately, we need to have a full complement of operators. Suppose we need to determine whether one value is greater or equal to or less than the another value. Or what if we need to ensure that the user's input matches the specific value? Or what if we need to make sure that the value returned from a method does not indicate failure? So in these cases, we may use many different kinds of Boolean expressions that use a wide array of operators. So again, in these discussions, we will learn about Boolean expressions and use of many operators and techniques to test values for equality, inequality, and comparison. Finally, we will also learn about how to use a specific or a special inline version of an if statement called the conditional operator for an either or result. By the end of these discussions, you will be able to write a code that can fully express more on your intent as you develop decision logic in C# applications. Now, our learning objective for this discussion, you will be able to use operators to create Boolean expression that test the comparison and equality, as I mentioned a while ago. Use built-in methods to the string class to perform better evaluation of strings. Use the negation operator to test for the opposite of the given conditions. Of course, use the conditional operator to perform an inline evaluation. And of course, as a prerequisite for this particular topic, I know, of course, from the previous discussion we had, you already have an experience with the basic variables, data types, and sending outputs to the console. And of course, you have also an experience regarding using if or else if else construct and the use of random plus to generate a random numbers. So basically, okay, as an exercise, when we talk about Boolean expressions, so decision logic and branching logic are terms for programmers, are terms programmers use to describe the change in execution path based on the evaluation of some expression. For example, we may write a code that evaluates user input. So if the value of the user input is equal to the string value of A, okay, I'm referring to character A, execute one code block, and if the value, the user input is equal to the string value of B, execute a different code block. Here, we are changing the execution path of our application based on the user input. And this is what is meant by the terms branching and decision. But before we work on the logical statements, let's start by talking about how to evaluate an expression. So an expression, by definition, it is a combination of values, whether that is a literal or a variable, operators and methods that may return a single value. A statement is a complete instruction in C# and as statements are comprised of one or more expressions. And there are many categories of expression, but when we are working with a decision statement, we are interested in Boolean expressions. Okay, so in a Boolean expression, the runtime evaluates the values, the operators, and the methods to return a single true or false value. So Boolean expressions are important because the decision statements will learn about next use, the next use to decide which block of code to execute. And there are many operators we can use depending on what we want to express in our code. So in evaluating equality and inequality, of course, many times, you will be able to check to see if values are equal or not, right? So you use definitely the equality operator, equals because two values, it evaluates two values to evaluate what you call as equality. So if the two values on either side of the equality operator are equivalent, then definitely the expression will return a true value. Otherwise, it will return false. Now, other times, you may want also to check to see if two values are not equal. Definitely, we'll be using inequality operator, question mark equal, okay, between two values to evaluate equality. You may wonder why we need both equality and equality operators. The reason will become clearer as you learn how to create branching statement and begin to write real world code. Two operators that perform opposite tasks allows us to be more expressive and compact. Things that we have to do first, of course, we have to make use of an equality operator. Definitely, we try to write this code, sample code in your code editor. So whether it is online editor or in our Visual Studio installed in our computer. So we have here console that right line, a character A, a lowercase a lowercase character A is equal to a lowercase character A. The second statement, it prompts to check, whether a lowercase character A is equal to an uppercase character A. For the third statement, it will prompt the user to check. It will prompt our compiler to check whether 1 is equals to number 2. And our fourth and fifth statement. On the fourth statement, we assign a string variable value to my value to a lowercase character A. And on the fifth statement, we actually check if the value of the variable my value is equal to a lowercase character A. Now, when we are going to run the code, definitely we will be able to see the following output. The first statement will definitely show us a console that right line lowercase a is equals to lowercase a. Definitely the output is true. They are the same. On the second statement, console.writeLine A is equal to an uppercase A, definitely the output will be false. Definitely they are not equal, no? The other one is lowercase in lowercase, and the other one is in uppercase. The same for statement 3, no? Okay, 1 is equals to 2, definitely the output will be false. However, for the fourth statement and fifth statement, when we are going to evaluate the output, definitely the output is true because my value is equivalent or is assigned to a value lowercase a. So definitely, okay, the value of the string variable, my value, is equal to a lowercase a. Definitely, this particular statement will give us a true output in the output pane. So, step 2, okay, you may be surprised that the statement or that the line console.writeLine a, lowercase a, is equals to uppercase a outputs false. Because again, in C#, when comparing strings, case matters. No? Case matters. Also consider this line of code. Console.writeLine lowercase a is equal to lowercase a. But at this point of time, there will be a blank after the character a. In this particular statement, definitely the output will be false. They are no longer equal because the other one connotes a single character a. Okay, lowercase a. However, it was being converted to the same character. However, this time, there will be another space or blank space value. Definitely, the output here is false. Here why? Because we add a blank space at the end of the string. And that's why it outputs false. In some cases, this might be perfectly acceptable. However, now if you need to accept a match that is not exact, you can massage the data first. Massaging the data means that you need to perform some cleanup before you perform a comparison for equality. And to massage two strings before checking for equality, you should make sure both strings are all uppercase and all lowercase using, say for example, two upper function and the two lower function. I mean the two upper method or the two lower method, helper method in any string value. So remove a leading or trailing blank spaces, we will be using trim method, helper method in any string value. And okay, so let's improve the previous check for equality by chaining or these two methods on both values of this code listing. So say for example, string value, string value 1 is equals to lowercase a. There is a blank space prior to lowercase character a. Then the next statement is string value 2. This time is assigned to value a, okay, uppercase a, and there will be a blank space after. So when we are going to apply the two upper or two lower helper method, as well as the trim method, we have here console.writeLine value 1. Okay, that trim method, that to lower method, meaning the what we call this, the first string or character value, we actually omit the space, okay, by making use of the trim method, and retain the character value by making use of the to lower function or to lower method, is equivalent to value 2, which is A, the uppercase A. Okay, again, we make use of the trim method to remove blank space, and the to lower method to convert, okay, uppercase to lowercase. So when we run this code, definitely the output will be true. Why it is true? Because both characters will be equivalent to a lowercase a. Definitely, lowercase a is equal to lowercase a, because there will be no more space also. Definitely, the output will bring us to true. Okay? So, if you have questions, okay, try to message me na lang if you have clarification regarding this, no? Or you can just put in our conversation box regarding the clarifications that you are going to raise for this discussion. Okay, moving on. So, okay. So, step 3, use the inequality operator. So, in this case, we will use the line comment operator, no, again, to comment out, no, all the code from the previous step, no, yung ginagawa natin. And of course, we have to add this code in our code editor. Console.writeLine A is not equal to lowercase a. The same as for the second statement, console.writeLine A or lowercase a is not equal to uppercase a. The third statement, okay, console.writeLine 1 is not equal to 2. And then, again, the variable, my value, string variable, my value is assigned to lowercase a. And then console.writeLine, my value is not equal to a. Now, when we are going to evaluate the output for the first statement, definitely, the answer is false. Why false? Because as what I have mentioned a while ago, and in our previous statement, no, a or the lowercase a is equal to lowercase a. Definitely, they are not equal. So, they are the same. So, the output will be false. Okay? So, for the second statement, since they are not equal, okay, so the output will be true. Okay? That output will be true. The same true for statement 3. 1 is not equal to 2. So the output will be true. However, for the fourth and fifth statement, the a, character a, okay, is equal to character a. Definitely, this brings us an output of false because they are equal and they are not equal. Because definitely this gives us a false output. Huh? So in working with numeric data types, as what I have mentioned in our previous discussion, we have we will actually determine if one value is larger, smaller, or equal to one another value. And we are using the following operators to perform these types of comparison. Siyempre, andyan si greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, so let us try this another codes. No? Again, if you have your previous codes, just use the line comment operator to comment all the codes from our previous step and try to add this code in your code editor. So console.writeLine, 1 is greater than 2. The second statement, 1 is less than 2. The third statement, 1 is greater than or equal to 1. The fourth statement is 1 is less than or equal to 1. The first statement will definitely output false. Of course, because 1 is less than 2. And this 1 is not greater than 2. So definitely the output will false. Okay. However, 1 is less than 2. So the second statement, the output will be true. The same for statement 3, the output is true because 1 is greater than or equal to 1. So the statement will give us an output value, true value rather. And for the fourth statement, 1 is less than or equal to 1. Definitely, this gives us an output of true. No? This will give us a true output. Next, take note that there are some methods that returns a Boolean value. No? You can think of these types of methods as queries. So in this particular exercise, we'll also use a built-in method in a string class to determine whether or not a larger string contains a specific word or phrase that may be interesting to us. Take note that some data types have methods that perform helpful utility tasks. The strings data type has many uses. Several reasons a Boolean value including contains method, starts with methods, and ends with the method. Okay, take note, contains method, starts with method, and ends with method. Okay, so although we will be learning that one in the next session that we have. So, okay. Step 5, okay, use a method invocation expression. So again, you have to use a line comment operator if you have previous lines or codes in your editor. And of course, add this particular code in your code editor. String pangram is equals the quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog. Console.writeLine pangram that contains fox, and then the second statement, third statement, console.writeLine pangram that contains cow. Now, if we are going to execute this statement, okay, this second statement, execute that writeLine pangram that contains fox, definitely the string value of a string variable pangram has fox in the string, the quick brown fox jump over the lazy dogs. Definitely the statement contains the word fox. So if we are going to execute this one, it will give us a true output. Now the third statement, console.writeLine pangram contains cow. Since there is no cow in the or in the statement, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, then definitely this will give us a false value. Okay, a false value. So, okay. Okay. So, the term, okay. So, moving on, what is the logical negation? The term logical negation refers to the, what you call this? Exclamation point operator. No, we actually connotes that one as a logical negation. Logical negation operator. No, logical negation operator. Then, so that particular logical negation operator is expressed in exclamation point. No? So if you notice an exclamation point, that means that that is a logical negation operator. Now, some people simply call that one as not operator. So adding the exclamation operator or the not operator or the logical negation operator before the conditional statement or conditional expression, like a method called which checks to ensure an expression is false. And just to hopefully help you see also the connections between these ideas, the following two lines of codes do the same thing. No? The second line is more compact. Say, for example, try to evaluate this line. In our previous sample, no? Line of code, console that right line, pangram that contains facts. Definitely, okay, definitely, since of course, no, the string value of pangram, no, is in our previous example is assigned to a statement, the quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog. Okay, so okay, so moving on. Okay, just to okay, so again, in this step, no, you have to update from step 4, no, to include the not operator before the invocation of the method calls. So if you have noticed, no, if you have noticed, same, no, in our sample, the string pangram, no, variable is still assigned to a statement, a strings to a statement, the quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog. Now, the second statement, console that right line, there is a negation operator there. Negation operator, if the variable pangram contains the word fox. Okay. And the third statement, okay, again, we have to evaluate if the statement, okay, the string pangram, okay, variable pangram contains the word cow. Okay, again, prior to that particular method, contains method, there is an exclamation point that specifies negation. So since on the second statement, since there is a fox word in the string value of the variable pangram, definitely the second statement will give us a false output. No? It will give us a false output because there is a word fox in the statement, the quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog. And however, on the third statement, there's a negation again, no? Not contain cow. Definitely, this particular statement will give us an output of true because the statement does not contain the word cow. Okay? So, not false is true. The same for the second statement. Not true is false. Okay, did you get it? Now, okay, just to recap for this first topic that we have. No? Here's the main takeaways you learn about evaluating Boolean expression so far. So there are so many different kinds of expression that evaluate either true or false. No? We evaluate equality using the equals or the equals operator. Evaluating the quality of strings requires you to consider the possibility that a string have different case and leading or trailing spaces. So we will be, depending on the situation, we will be utilizing two lower or two upper helper methods and trim helper methods to improve the likelihood that two strings are equal. We evaluate inequality by using the NOT or logical NOT operator. Okay. And of course, evaluate greater than, less than, and similar operation using comparisons operator like greater than, equal, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. If a method returns a Boolean, it can be used as a Boolean expression. Also, use logical negation operator. Okay, the exclamation, the not operator to evaluate the opposite of the given expressions. No? So moving on. Okay, so as an exercise with regards to conditional operator, of course, suppose you need to quickly determine if a customer purchase is eligible for professional discount. If the amount of the sale is greater than 1,000, then the discount of the purchase may be 100. So if the amount is 1,000 or less, the discount of the sale is 50. Now, just an example. While we could certainly use the if or else if statement branching construct to express the business rule, maybe we could be sometimes we could choose the conditional operator to perform the professional or promotional discount. The conditional operator uses a compact format that saves a few lines of code that possibly makes the intent of the clearer code. So what is a conditional operator? The conditional operator, or this, what we call this question mark, followed by as a colon, or commonly used, commonly known as the ternary operator or ternary conditional operator, evaluates a Boolean expression and returns the result of evaluating one of two expressions depending on whether the Boolean expressions evaluates true or false. Here's the basic format, and you have to understand, you have to be familiar with the syntax or format. So evaluate the condition, okay, and then followed by the question mark, okay, the conditional operator. If condition is true, return this value. Otherwise, if the condition is false, then return this value. So let us use the conditional operator to address the scenario. No? So we will display the message of the to the customer whether the promotional discount based on whether they have spent more than 1,000 on their purchase. So we have here, okay. Okay, so again, we will be, if you have the, what you call this, previous code in your code editor. I-comment mo muna yan. And then try to add this particular code in your editor. So we have here assigning an integer variable sales amount to 1,001. And then the discount is sales amount is greater than 1,000. And that's the condition. The sales amount is greater than 1,000. That's the condition. If greater than 1,000, if this is true, then the discount is 100. Otherwise, if it is less than, the discount is 50. That is how are we going to read or understand this statement. So we declare a variable discount, integer variable discount, and we compute that one by we actually give discount if this particular conditions will be met. So if the sales amount is greater than 1,000, then definitely the discount is 100. Otherwise, the discount is 50. And then the third statement is to display the discount, whether it is 100 or 50. However, the sales amount here is already given, 1,001. Definitely, this is more than or greater than 1,000. So if we are going to execute this code, definitely the output will be 100 because 1,001 is greater than 1,000. Okay, so the value after the question mark is the value that will be outputted if the condition is true. However, the value that will be outputted when the condition is false is 50. The value that is being specified after the colon. Okay, so moving on. So we can compact this code even more by eliminating the temporary variable discount. So and again, sell amount is equals to 1,001 and discount is equals to sales amount greater than 1,000. Okay, 100 if the statement is true. I mean, if the sales amount is greater than 1,000 and 50 if it is less than. And we display discount. So again, if we run this code, the output is still the same. Now, it is necessary to wrap the entire conditional operator statement in parentheses so that the runtime doesn't make mistake. This is your intent before evaluating the condition. While this particular example is nice and compact and shows what is possible, it's not always a good idea to combine line of codes if it adversely affects the overall readability of this line. This is often a subjective judgment call. Now, again, to recap, we should remember the following the conditional operator. Now, in using conditional operator, when we use the conditional operator, okay, when we need to add branching logic inline. The second one, we use conditional operator when we need to return a value based on the binary condition. Return this when true, return this when it is false. So, okay, so before we move on further, no, try to have this code challenge. Code challenge throughout this discussion will reinforce that you have learned and help you gain some confidence before continuing our topic. So our title for this challenge is Heads or Tails Challenge. In this challenge, you flip a coin to display either head or tails. This is a perfect scenario for the conditional operator. So if you have not followed along with this C# learning path sequentially, take a moment to familiarize yourself with the random class and the next method by reviewing the calling different kinds of methods in the .NET class library. So as an instruction for this particular challenge, again, in this challenge, you will flip a coin to display either head or tails. And again, this is a perfect scenario for the conditional operator. So as an instruction, use the random class to generate the value. Based on the value, use the conditional operator to display either heads or tails. And there should be a 50% chance that the result is either head or tails. You should be able also to accomplish the desired result in 3 lines of codes or less. Whether you get stuck and need to pick at the solution or you finish successfully, continue on to view a solution to this challenge. Okay? So I'll give you 5 minutes to do this. Okay, so time starts now. Okay, time's up. So so we'll check kung parehas ba tayo ng solution. Okay, so ayan. So this would be the possible solution for the challenge that we have. So we make use of the random coin equals new random method. Of course, we declare a variable and flip the coin that next 0 or 2. Okay. So console.writeLine, flip is assigned to value 0. If it is true, the statement that will be output will be the heads, otherwise it is tail. So this code is merely just one possible solution. You could have eliminated the temporary variable flip by calling the next method inside the Boolean expression like so. Random coin is equals to new random method. Console.writeLine coin.next 0 2 is equals to 0. And then the statement that will be the word that will be that will be displayed in the output pane if the condition coin that next method is true. If it's false, otherwise the word that will be displayed in our output pane is tail. So however, this code is packed densely and would be more difficult to understand what the coding is doing. So if you are successful, congratulations, guys. Okay, so I hope you will be able to cope up with this particular example. So we again, in this session, we will be able to discuss several methods. No, we have here random methods. We have the next method. What else? We have the to upper method, to lower method, the trim method. Okay, of course, we will be able to. We actually discussed also ternary operator and how are we going to use it according to a simple problem set that we have. So again, that's all for now. Thank you for coming in. I hope you learned something from me this morning. Thank you and God bless.